What we're going to do now is look at scene safety. Now here, this is very simulated here, but we're looking at maybe a car accident. So the first thing you need to do is not to directly approach it straight away, but look at what the scene is, what dangers are there. Now, if it's a car accident, firstly, are there any other cars around? Are there any people? You need to do a quick risk assessment and also look at who is involved. Now in this scenario, we'll just keep it nice and simple that Damien's driven into a wall or something like that. We know there's only one person involved. So if we're approaching a car, we need to look for lots of things. Is there fluid around? Now the fluid could be water, it could be oil, or it could be petrol or diesel. So we do need to make sure whether there is fuel there, is there a potential fire risk? If it's a car accident, there could be glass. What's the vehicle carrying? Maybe it's a van or something like that and it's got chemical or gas in there. So do what you can, and a quick walk around to make sure that you can see what the dangers are can be really useful. Particularly looking at the back of the vehicle, there may be markings on there for compressed gas or something like that. So try and be aware of exactly what you're going into. And remember, stop, think, then act. So the first thing is stop, have a look at the situation. You can talk to the person. Now if it is a car accident, try and always do that from the front, because we don't want Damien to turn his head around like that to talk to me. So if you are approaching, try and approach from the front, and then from that area you can talk to him directly. So you just say, stay where you are, don't move, don't turn your head. You know, my name's Keith, I'm a first aider. Yeah, can I help you? You can do this all from a distance. This is all in the stop and think side of things. So plan what you're going to do. Next thing, pop your gloves on. So pop your gloves on so that you know, you're safe, and you can do that from a distance. And the whole time, if you stood towards the front, you could be talking to the person at the same time as just checking your gloves, popping your gloves on, and just be ready to treat the patient. Now, if you've got a first aid kit to hand, you can get hold of that or get someone else to get that for you. But right now, we don't really know what the problem is. So from here, we've got PPE on, we've got gloves on, we can approach. One thing you can do if you're approaching a vehicle is just say, to look at my hand. You can hold the hand right in front of the windscreen. So you can just look at that. And as you approach around from the side, you can make sure he's still looking forward. And you can tell him, because you don't want to shock him at all, tell him to keep his head exactly where it is. This is just in case of spinal injury. Now on this film, we're not going to look at all the individual possible injuries. We're just looking at scene safety, because we'll cover that in another video. So check to start with, communicate with them the whole time. Keep on looking out for dangers. If this car's crashed, then there might be another one. It might be other dangers around. It might be children, dogs, all sorts of things. So as you approach the car, have a look through, look in the back, see what else is there, or any other vehicles. But if Damien's there, you can ask him these questions as well. So you can say, are you traveling alone? Is there anyone else in the vehicle? Do you have any pets in the vehicle? There's nothing dangerous in the vehicle. So all these things, and they're good things to be talking to him about and communicating. So no matter whether you're dealing with a situation here with an adult in a car accident, or this could be a child who's fallen over, and you might be talking to the mother or the childminder or the child themselves, to actually get as much information as possible. And also, if someone is talking and they feel they're being cared for throughout this scene safety and the initial inspection of what's gone on, it's going to make them feel a lot more comfortable that you're there to actually help them. So once you've done the scene safety and you're actually approaching, then from here we can open up the door, we can talk directly to Damien, we can find out what's happened. Most important thing also is to make sure the engine is turned off. So turn it off, make sure the key's fully removed, just so there's no chance of it ever actually starting up. We can ask him, or we can look for injuries, because he may not know exactly what's wrong, so we can look for blood or deformity or injury and things like that. Talk to him, find out what's what, and just make sure that we've got all the right care going. Now, throughout this process also, we've stopped at an accident, we've already gone through calling for help, but it may well be at this stage, if you start seeing injuries, and if it's just a minor, that's where you want to call emergency services and tell them exactly what's wrong. So if it is just something minor, it may just be we call an ambulance just to get him checked out, or it might be the police. There's lots of things there that we can do. So in which case, you would just activate the emergency services where needed. If this example was elsewhere and you're dealing in a paediatric setting or something like that, then you would still go through the same process. You still make sure the scene's safe before you approach and start dealing with the patient.